Here we go again with this stupid thing. Hang on. What's up, guys? As always, working great. There we go. All right. Okay. How's it going?
Living the dream. That's how it's going.
Let me see. There we go. All right. Let's see what we get. We something a little bit different today. Well, a little bit different. Something a little added. We're actually live on YouTube this time too, which I don't know if that's an accomplishment or not. But let's see, live chat. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I don't know. There's a live chat there, live chat here, but nobody's talking to us, which is a-okay by me. We are live. I'm seeing it come through, so that's a good thing. Good to see your smiling face. Missed you this past weekend, but I know you were doing something exciting as well. Something we'll get into. And let's see. I imagine let's make sure we're actually showing. Yeah, I think it's showing. Can anybody say if it's showing on Facebook right now? Do we know? I believe it is, but let's see. Yep, it is showing. Okay, so that's good. And you just keep walking off camera, so don't worry about that. You keep doing your thing.
I'm not. Trying to get this light going so I'm not like in the dark. I think that might be as good as it gets.
I feel like I've done something wrong because, like, normally people are saying stuff by now.
We'll just talk like there are people here. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we can pretend. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. I've been pretending my whole life. Yeah. I pretend I'm tall. I pretend I'm attractive. Yeah, I pretend all the time. There we go. People actually chiming in, so that's good. What's going on, guys? How we doing? Scrumptious, how you doing, buddy? Brian, nice to see you, or see your name at least. I see nothing coming through on YouTube, but I don't expect to see that yet. We're going to give it a couple minutes before we kind of kick it off. Oh, Fred, how you doing, pal? Good seeing you. Good playing with you this weekend.
There's Freddie.
How's your ears doing from that massive 9mm grenade? Some guy had I don't even know what they're called, but it's this big. It's massive. All like made of like constructed like I don't know, wrought iron. I don't know what it's made of. And it takes a 9mm cartridge inside. And it's an impact sound grenade. And I'm afraid of like killing somebody with it. But he threw it at the event, and Freddie was in the extra track chair. And when this guy tossed it, it hit the ground and like hit a root or something and bounced up and got to like here over Freddie's head, and that's where it went off. Like right over his head, dude. Oh my God, are you serious? Yeah, it's crazy. Headache for days. Yeah, that's nuts. He asked me if I knew where to get them. I'm like, no, I will not carry those. Like, I don't even carry the stuff from Airsoft Innovations. We've had this conversation before. It seems like, Airsoft Innovations just wanted to make things that hurt people. It was all like so heavily constructed, or it fired so many BBs, or fired the BBs so fast, or whatever. Everything, it was just trying to hurt people. So I had no interest in any of that. Sometimes things can go overboard, and I'm not necessarily about that. So,
right.
Yeah, it's funny though, because the action track chair, the only way to take it out is by grenade, which is all well and good, but I mean, you gotta have a little bit of courtesy too. He does like 1.5 miles an hour. The thing, it's not like he's spinning out all over the place. And these guys are just trying to take him out. He caught a couple shots too. Somebody forgot, I guess. forgot that you're not allowed to shoot the chair, and he caught a couple of them. And it's not like he's armored. He's basically wearing a battle belt and iPro. That's all he had on. So,
Oh God.
yeah. Let's see. Okay. Inner. Wow. Jeez. See, we got to build you like a deflector shield down there, Fred, just to get that area protected. So, all right, we're 6 minutes in. We can probably start talking about it. Thank you those of you that are on watching all that. You guys don't have to chat. It's okay. I appreciate everybody who's here. If you guys are watching later on after the fact, definitely appreciate that. If it's just me and Christian talking, cool. I have heard that they are a thing. Yes, I have. I do know people that wear them. They just make you walk funny. That's all. Not a chafing I'm looking to get. So this past weekend, you and I both were at separate events.
Yes. You were attending, and I was running an event.
Yes. We really didn't talk about who was going to say what first. I know you're a pretty proud papa of this event. You things went well from what I understand.
Oh yeah, it was. So I ran Operation Scorched Earth at the Big House Milsom AO in Crescent, Pennsylvania. Or Crescent, Pennsylvania. I was the game runner, writer, and head of staff, and hundreds of players had a great time on an amazing AO. Very few actual discrepancies. Front end was good, back end was good. Game started when we wanted to, ended when we wanted to. It was good. A couple hiccups here and there, but I'm very satisfied with the team that helped me with that. Very grateful for Big House Produce giving us a location. A pleasure to collaborate with Big House Milsom to get the event going, and the trust they have in me to run their team and event. I'm just very thankful for the community and the opportunities it's afforded me. So it was very good. It was very good. It's almost bragging.
The AO itself, I don't remember what the square acreage of it is, but it's an old. Now they call it a haunted, because I guess they in the off season they do. Don't they do haunted tours there?
So it actually, they were running games pretty close. Or sorry, we were running games around the time they were running ghost tours at certain times, to the point where there was a ghost tour going on in one section of the location while we were operating our game. Like, it's a pretty heavy amount of foot traffic to look at the spookiness of that. So that AO was a women's sanatorium, a tuberculosis ward, and a prison. And number-wise, 45,000 people have died at that location. So a high probability of getting spooked. I personally have never encountered anything other than a draft and a really really awkward player coming around the corner asking how I'm doing. Other than that, it is a very scary location, but it was good. And I'm still a little jet lagged from all the. I went from waking up very, very early in the morning, operating the game, operating the raffle, going 2.5 hours from the AO to Pittsburgh International, to then fly to Atlanta, to then fly to Sarasota, to then drive home, go to sleep, and then wake up 4 hours later to go to work. And needless to say, I've been trying to capitalize on sleep as much as I can lately. So,
well, yeah. This is the venture in this way for you is fairly new as well. I mean, like you're really kind of ramping up on all the game running now. It's not just writing. You're this was you're actually running the event now.
Yep.
Guys helping you. You're using other staff, which good for you. I'm actually super proud of you. That's fantastic. By the way, Stats is on. Just say what's going on. How are you? Stick around, Steve. Just real quick sidebar. Last time we teased the event. Those of you that were at the event I was at this weekend, I actually I announced the event, and we're gonna do the full public announcement here shortly for what our upcoming event is. And so, Steve, stick around for that. I know you generally stick around for the whole thing, but yeah, stick around for that. So I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
You didn't interrupt anything. I finished.
I think I interrupted
Wow. Wow.
Well, say I don't discriminate. I'm rude to everybody, including me. So,
this is true. And last note on Big House Milsim at that AO, we are looking to run 3 to 4 events next year. Big Syndicate 3, Geigerlands 2, Scorched Earth 2, and a new game I am in the works of creating for the event. So,
okay. All right, and what, so the difference between all those, I know the difference. Geigerlands and the other two, I know that that's more of a post-apocalyptic type event. But the difference between Scorched Earth and the Syndicate, I guess I know. I don't know if you want to share the differences or not, but I guess I kind of know what the differences are.
Yeah, one is a more typical force-on-force engagement. That would be Scorched Earth. We try to go for a more attrition-based game. Missions and fragos that involve at least an hour to complete on timelines. With Syndicate, it's where we add more exotic elements to the game, like a TFR or a civilian faction, or like extractions of VIPs. We add more variables than your typical milsim to that event.
Okay. All right. So
Please, don't seem too thrilled.
No. I know most of it anyway. I wanted you to share it to anybody watching this, thinking about going to any of those events, the differences between them, what to expect, and things like that. So, was there anything at the event itself this weekend that was good, bad, otherwise, things that you share with people, let them know to do, don't do, what have you?
Well, the best part of the event was, in fact, the AO and the player base. We had very few players that elected to not have fun of their own volitions during the event. You always run into those players that have an ego and decide, well, what if I just tried to ruin this for as many people as possible? Very few of them, and I made the decision. Those were player ejections. And once the player ejections occurred, things somehow ran much more smoothly. So it was good. That's the good. The AO and the player community itself, over 200 players. Shout out to Spider, commander of Green, and shout out to Tubbs, commander of Tan. Also, shout out to the junior officers of both respective faction. You guys nailed it with the command structure. Saw a lot of great dynamicy and team play and cooperation. Your communication was so that's the good. There's a lot of good, but those are the highlights for me personally. The bad was very minor misconveyances in the understanding of rules. We had a player show up in all black and then go, oh, doesn't this count as tan camo? I've been to other milsims before. So that was hilarious. Whoever you are, shout out to you, because at the end you said, oh, I just didn't want to change. You know what you were doing, you bum. So anyways, just very minor things. We had someone we explicitly told everybody, due to the dry grass, do not use pyrotechnical grenades outside. First hour, like 5 pyrotechnical grenades outside. Fix that real quick. Just minor inconveniences. The game as a whole, solid and fluid. Again, I'm super thankful for the community. There were hardly any rogue actors. Just a lot of positivity. The raffle was hilarious, much to the chagrin of Papa probably, and to the smiling of myself at the end of the raffle. Joker's shirt was raffled again. That beautiful, smelly piece of equipment that people were stoked, by the way. So shout out to Joker for being consistent with his raffle item. It was a lot of fun. Oh, and the raffle items, Crucible Airsoft, Sin Williams raffled an amazing pistol off valued at $2,000. It was a high quality piece of equipment. It was beautiful. You could have shot someone to death with it and beat someone to death with it. And I mean that almost literally. No, great raffle items. Amped Airsoft showed up. Jackal Tactical showed up. Blue Mag Airsoft showed up. You guys ruled. I mean, it almost sounds like bragging. It was great. It was. I was so.
Brag away. I mean, be proud of yourself. You should be.
A lot of practice for our upcoming events.
Yep. Don't give it away yet. We're getting there.
Oh yeah, but speaking of events, sir, what was the event you went to?
Me. Funny you should ask. I was at an event this weekend. I did attend an event with a gentleman that's actually in our chat right now, Mr. Freddie Lux. I was at ATE, Apocalyptical Tactical Events, Operation Deliverance at Big Indian Paintball in Perry, Georgia. First of all, a lot of fun. The end-to-end fun. Had a great time. Great group of people. The event itself, I don't think it got a lot. I don't think it got a lot of traction. Is what happened. ATE. The owners of ATE came from another event producers before that disbanded, and they've been trying to get their footing. They did well. ATE did really well with Aftermath here in Florida, and then as they try to branch out, I think they're having a little bit of trouble getting some traction. I just think it's the advertising. I think it's a lack of recognition of the name at the moment, because it certainly is not a lack of quality of the game at all. Aftermath was fantastic when we went. That was the one that was up at Wayne's World. I thought it was a well done game.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, between there's like 1,000. No, I'm not want to say. There's literally. I think that one had 130 something fragos. Like, Drew wrote a ton of fragos for it. This one, Deliverance. I will tell you, first of all, with the way the game was run and the AO itself, you would have had no idea how many people were there as far as playing against it, and it really brought to light something for me. When you're playing at an event, the average engagement is usually a squad on squad. You're usually engaged at some level, somewhere between 6 and 10, maybe up to 15. I don't think I've ever gone against at a particular engagement when I'm working some kind of objective more than like 15 players. When you stop for a second, you think about that. Regardless of the amount of players that are on the field as a whole, that's what you're engaging against, and that's what I found this weekend. We got there. The AO itself, I got to tell you, they use it as a home field. There's several groups that use it as a home field. They and it's great. It's the woods section of it. It's there's a lot of hills and valleys in it. They've got structures placed inside the woods, not necessarily. There are some clearings, but they've got stuff that there was no clearings. These structures were built between trees. So you're talking about 15 to 20 foot wide by 15 to 20 foot deep structures that you can hide in, go in, multiple doorways, things like that. Super, super cool AO. And it's a paintball area as well. So, there's areas that are quick maneuver. There's areas of attack and defend areas. So really awesome. The gameplay, the objectives, the fragos, everything that we got to do there was awesome. Thank you, Top. Top and I got out there. We had a third guy with us who joined us. Top and I were doing a lot of. I actually, you'd be proud. Normally, I go out and I chase down BBs, and usually catch them.
A bullet. We call that in the business a bullet sponge
Yeah, this time
or
I
a mass
actually did.
casualty.
My problem is, and you know this, my problem is I get bored quick. If I'm just sitting there, I know that it's supposed to be tactical and all that, but if I'm not engaged, I get a little bored. I don't want to sit and wait, so I'll run out and jump in. I'll jump into an engagement, or I'll create an engagement. I just run out in the middle of somewhere just to get somebody to shoot at me, just to start the engagement. I didn't do that this time. You can check with Marley Gasket; he'll tell you. Um, and Top and I were actually out in the woods, and we were just doing some sneak and peek, and really, really, really good time. Great players, everybody calling their hits, nobody pulling a "I shot you," call your hit, dude. Nothing, none of that at all this weekend. Really, really great players at the event. ATE did a wonderful job putting it on. I couldn't have. No, and that's the funny thing. Whoops, said I don't care for speed QB. I just don't care for waiting 10 minutes between engagements. If I'm stuck somewhere and I'm just like, all right, this is just going to be, you know, pot shots after pot shot. I'm going to move. I'm going to go somewhere. I want to get into the fight. It's not a speed QB thing. It's I want to get into the fight. So, and I got to do that. That was what was cool. Is Top and I just kept moving, moving along, staying low, and there was a lot of respect. I got to say, there was a lot of respect given and taken. I came around at one point, and there was a group that was together. Some were already dead, some weren't. I shot one. I shot one guy, caught him in his backpack, um, and he turned around, looked, put his hands up, turned around and looked, and he was with some other guys, and I was like, please don't make me do this, and because I had them dead to rights, I just didn't want to have to shoot them, and they all went, nope, you got it, and I was a good, easily 10 feet away, maybe more, but they were inside a structure, so they were kind of crammed together, so there was no way I was going to miss, and so, but they took the hit respectfully. And even played around with it. They were joking. I was trying to find their flag, so it really was a great event, and everybody played hard. Both days, really, really good time, and I really hope that everybody kind of catches on to ATE. I hope they have even greater success in the future. I know they've got a couple events that they're putting together now. The gameplay was great, and the guys running it, Bulldog Wiener, they do a great job, and it was a good time. Really was. Yeah, Top and I just doing this. It was a lot of fun, and I mean, it was a 7.5 hour drive, with the exception of 3 blown tires. The whole weekend altogether, we ended up 2 flats on the van and 1 flat on the pop up. So, yeah, it was made for an adventure.
That's a good optimistic way to look at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it made for good stories. We got on the way up, before we even got it up to Northport, we blew a tire, and and then while we're up there, there's a nail in the other tire, so we got to fix that. And then on the way back, we blow flat on the pop up, and then the tire that got patched ends up blowing a tire. So, what are you gonna do, man? Are you gonna complain about it? It happened. It does you no good to go back in time. It doesn't work like that. So it was yeah, it really was an adventure. But the whole weekend, I mean, we're all, those of us that were there were camping out, bonfire, the whole deal. A lot of fun, lot of fun. So I definitely go back, absolutely go back for sure. Look forward to it, to be honest with you. I no real. I mean, I can't say anything as far as no negative comments. Nobody, there was no screaming and yelling and fighting, nothing like that. We didn't. That was probably one of the best. Going to an event, not having that happen, not having that toxic or negativity happen. If I were to say anything, I'll throw this out there. I'll ask, anybody out there who watches this at any point, whether now or in the future, um, if you're good at marketing or promotion, please hit up. I mean, we'll take it too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't need it, but they absolutely deserve it. And I just don't think that Bulldog and Wiener, that's not their forte. Writing games, running games, things like that. That's where they live. I don't think that the social networking, social media, getting all that. I don't think that's their forte. So they definitely could use the help, because I think there's people that didn't go to this game that absolutely, I would say, they missed out on something. He didn't let me borrow his van, by the way, Eric. It wasn't me borrowing his van. He was driving. So I can't take the hit for that one. He was driving.
Way to throw him in the fuck.
So that was the event. That was ATE's Deliverance event. They did have banjo playing there, by the way. It was a little scary. I did get cradled, but whatever. That's a different kind of stream. Don't look at me like that. So that's that was the happenings of the past weekend. Sounds like an adventurous weekend for both of us.
Yeah.
So we talked a little. I put on here that we were going to talk about what happened, what is happening, what's going to happen, what we learned from it, and all that. I think one of my takeaways for myself is I really got to start taking care of me also. I get everybody else's guns ready, and it invariably happens. I go and I'm like, at the last minute, I'm like, I think my gun's shooting straight. So I got to start taking care of my stuff. So I'm gonna start focusing on that, guys. If that's a lesson to anybody, just not the night before, the week before. Make sure all your stuff is together. Make sure it's straight. Make sure you got everything you need to have. Make sure it's all working.
And on the opposite end of that spectrum, I'm going to party harder in between days as I operate events, because I did that, and I think it kept me normal over the weekend for myself. So,
yeah, you need less stress. I need more. Wait, I don't know. Do I? I don't know.
We're good at this, you and I.
Yeah. So I did, speaking of the event I was at, I did announce our upcoming event. So I'm gonna and thank you, Top. I actually not shameless self promotion here, but I took another gun home. Gentleman wants me to work on it for him. And I've already got a couple more orders for D-hops, which you guys, anybody that's known me for the past 2 years, year and a half, I had a hard time talking about it. It's getting easier for me to talk about now, but the compliments I get from people for the D-hop system, thank you all so much for that. Thank you for the support on it. And I absolutely love the fact that it's working out for everybody. And I look forward to growing with it and growing with you guys even more and more. So thank you, Top, for pointing that out. There is a marked difference between guns that do and don't have it, but I'm not here to necessarily promote that. What I am here to promote is we are announcing, this is the official announcement, we are announcing Clash of the Titans. It is coming February 3rd through the 5th, 2023. Unlike the post I put earlier, it said 2022. February 3rd to February 5th, 2023 at the Old Force Center. It's the Old Hendry County Prison. A lot of you know already where it is. Some of you have been there before. What makes this at this time especially so special, makes this event so special, is the not just the AO, which we actually are. We have acquired the entire AO, not just the prison. So those of you that played North vs South 3 last year, that was just the prison. This time we're getting the entire AO, which includes the airfield, the villages, everything, everywhere you can go. We're going to be posting pictures over the next couple of weeks of the different areas. We're going to be posting more and more information. But what makes this one so extra special is who the COs are for this event. And this to me is a really, really big deal. The reason why it's called Clash of the Titans, the fact that we were able to get these guys finally on the field at the same time, facing each other. And this is Lieutenant Colonel Sal Zuniga and Freddie Lux. Freddie's going to be for the green side. Sal's going to be for the tan side. Is the first time they've ever had the opportunity to face each other. Freddie's been wanting to face Sal for the longest time. They've been kind of snickering back and forth at each other, and this is it. They're coming in February. Clash of the Titans. They're actually coming together to face each other for the very first time to settle this score. So those of you that don't know what that means, some of you do, some of you don't. Some of you guys know exactly what they've been trying to get this to happen for a long, long time. And then unfortunately it was during the Overwatch events. Freddie was supposed to, at the very last one, he was supposed to go and face Sal at what was going to be the next Overwatch, and unfortunately that one never happened. So our time to step in and make that occur. So guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't know if however you want to choose your side. If you want to choose green and tan, you want to choose Sal or Freddie, you want to choose Army or Navy, you want to choose TCA or VFA, whatever side you want to choose, however you choose. I'm telling you, this is not one you're going to want to miss. I really, really wanted this to come together. I can't thank the two of them enough for agreeing to do this one. And to me, this is the start of a series, not the end of a series. We're absolutely looking forward to doing this more in the future, trying to get more producers and people that have been wanting to go against each other. We're going to be trying to do that more and more. But when you're talking about, I forget what the acreage is now, because I know that the prison itself is 47 acres. I forget what the rest of it is.
Turn your notifications off.
What's that?
Turn your notifications off.
Shut up. I can't tell you how excited I am. With you writing it, you writing the game. I have no doubts on how good it's going to be. We have Echo 4 coming in to do their JTF missions. We're working on right now, and there is, provided that there's no issues with it, we're actually going to have Paul coming in with the Huey. So we're going to have we're going to have the helo rides coming in. There will be several technicals on field between Echo 4. I believe, I don't want to speak out of turn, I believe TCA is working on trying to get their Humvee there as well. So we do have technicals that are going to be on the field. The helo ride, the JTF missions. There's going to be a night mission. Yes, there's lodging, different kinds of lodging on location. We're going to announce more and more about all of that. Tickets are going to come out here shortly, and we're really looking forward to this one. This is I've already started to stress, so that it means it must be good. Do I have a max player count? No, actually. I mean, we will have to cap it at something. But the anticipation, to be honest with you, the anticipation is 500 plus. I think that field has held, I believe the biggest event that Doomsday held there was just shy of 700, 600 and change. So I mean, it's not the AO can absolutely hold that and then some. But there's I absolutely anticipate 500 players. I think we're going to start it at 500, and if we see that there's a lot more that want to try to come on site, we do got to keep it to a certain level. I mean, can't have it get out of hand. It's going to take enough staff as it is just to handle 500 players. But we're really, really looking forward to this. Working with VFA and TCA is great for us. Freddie and Sal have both been wonderful so far. Everything that they've learned, every mistake they've made, every success that they've had, they're sharing with me, which is fantastic. And if I've said this many times in my life, I've said it many times in my airsoft career. Now with I try to share it on the field. Learn from other people. Don't it's a skill to have. If somebody falls down in front of you, you see what they tripped over. Don't trip over the same thing. Learn from their lessons. These guys are actively teaching me what to and what not to do. I'm going to absorb every bit of it.
Stress.
So, what did you? You're such a good color man. I tell you honestly, where would I be without you? Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. I got a chance to talk to Dom, my son. He was actually at the event this weekend. He came over from Fort Stewart, and we got to talking about where we came from. 9 years ago, where we started, and this whole thing just kind of. I mean, it has happened. It's progressed slowly, but on a very steady path, and it feels. I mean, it feels great to be there, to be where we're at now, and to see where we're going. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's strange to me. It still is strange to me to be doing this. It was very weird when we first did North versus South down at the prison, to have that at that point. And now, at the level we're at, working with these guys who, I mean, I look up to them, much respect for both of them, and being able to be with them, have them helping me, mentoring me through this. It's an honor, honestly. Look, you know me, but I mean, this is just. I'm always going to share how I feel, and I think gratitude is one of the greatest things that anybody can have. It's if you're not grateful for the things you have, then you're just disrespecting everything in your life. I love the fact that I get to sit here, for an hour and be stupid with with one of my very good friends, and you guys get to sit here and laugh at us, or hopefully laugh at us, or with us, or whatever.
With us is preferred.
Yeah, with us is preferred, but either way, laughter's laughter, and we get to do this. I mean, look, I'm surrounded by airsoft guns. This is, for some people, this has been their dream for a very long time. Mine, the fact that I get to help other people and encourage them in their dreams is what makes it great. So, it's just a fantastic thing for me, and I couldn't for more. Which it doesn't look. I guess I wish Steve had been able to stay on. I wanted him to see that announcement because I know we told him last week. He make sure that he booked his flights. These guys, they're not going to want to miss it.
Oh, we'll put it out there. They'll know.
Speaking of missing, so and Freddie, by the way, Freddie has already started actively recruiting at the event at Deliverance. When I announced it, we gave away a ticket. And Freddie's already like, it's a green ticket, right? It's like, it's whatever he wants it to be, man, whatever he wants. But he's already trying to grab everybody he can for Greenside. And it's, all I know is you got two guys that are skilled. I mean, forget about what their pasts were. Sal is still active, active Army. Freddie was in the Navy. Forget about those pieces right there. The uh, the fact that the two of them have been doing what they do in airsoft for as long as they have, running games, COs at games, and all that kind of stuff. They have the skill to truly lead, and because they've done it, to truly lead an entire unit. And now it's almost irrelevant which side you pick, because you're going to be led well. So these are going to be great fights. And anybody that's curious, anybody that's wondering, I've had comments already about, you got to make sure that the prison, stop. Everybody fights in the prison. That's not going to be our focus. Obviously, there's going to be fights in the prison. All the buildings are going to be used. There's going to be obstacles and barricades and everything put up. Absolutely. That's not going to be the main focus, guys. There's going to be transport vehicles taking you across the entire AO. There's going to be objectives, fighting objectives, everything that you could possibly do across the entire AO. Don't think about any game you've played there before. The only similarities is the physical location. I promise you're not going to. I want people walking away from this. Truly, I want people walking away with feeling a difference by who led them and how the game was played. I really think that we can do that.
And you're humble, Yordi.
Yeah, look at you're. It's amazing. I strive someday to be as humble as Yordi.
You're both unbearable.
Oh my goodness. So, I am a little disappointed. I think I missed the boat. I got to talk to Crisper. He may or may not have held a ticket for me, but I think I missed the boat on the North Carolina Mall, on Thunderdome. It came and went like that fast. Tickets went up and gone, super fast.
Everybody wanted to go.
There's Josh Delmonico of CQC. He actually runs the he has CQC he does holsters, custom holsters, things like that, and he runs the gun range down at the ranch. So and I will be seeing him, probably be seeing him on Friday, I imagine. I'm going down there. I'm going to do the walkthrough with the owner, and I imagine Josh will be there. And Josh, we will be down there as a team to run our test game. We might as well talk about this too, Mr. Toucan. We will be running. Occasionally, we will be running small games, non-event but advanced day games down in the villages, at the ranch. So, which is in the same, just a different section. Yeah. So until we get our new field up and running, that's where we'll be holding our game days, and we're very, very, very much looking forward to it. Josh does a lot of training. He does a lot of real life training. They actually do he's got cadavers, like real cadavers. They do this and he has, like, there's a machine that pumps blood. So when you get to these cadavers and they turn that on, you're bandaging, like blood's like spurting out. It's like, it's to get these guys like real life training. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not so sure our airsofters can handle all that.
Greg, my immersion.
Yeah, I don't know that we want that deep of immersion. No. I have to say, by the way, this is not a commercial for Twix, but that's not really a Twix. It's only one. When they come in the minis, it's only one. They don't put two in there. They try to pawn it off by saying by labeling it as left and right, and I disagree with that. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed because it doesn't taste like a right. It could be a left for all I know. How do they know?
Twix is a government conspiracy to create divisiveness in this country.
I'm just saying. Thank you, Yordi. It's not a Twix. Either way, it's
unfollow.
So, but exactly, that's what I'm saying, Yordi. Now I got to dig through and try to find a left side. See that?
Oh my god.
Whatever.
The last 15 minutes of our stream are going to be you trying to find the right Twix. Sorry, the
Correction.
left
Trying to
Twix.
find the left Twix.
There
And I
it
found
is.
right there. They're trying to say that that's what it's supposed to be. Come on now. Come on. Anyway. So that's some of the stuff we got coming up in the future. We don't have a definitive date yet. Hopefully we'll have that. There will absolutely be North versus South 4. And we are working to have that at Wayne's World of Paintball, right? What's called the actual name, Wayne's World. We will have it there because although the North won last time, the North has been getting fat and lazy, resting on their laurels, and the South has been doing nothing but training and pushing their way up north. And now the fight is taking place up there. So hopefully that happens within the next several months, and we will have that. We miss you, Yordi. You need to get your ass back out there.
It's true. It's true.
And it's funny that I mentioned Wayne's World because upcoming in 9 days.
Wasteland 14, baby.
There it is. Those of you that have never done this before, if you've got some time this weekend or next weekend, make your way on up to Wayne's World for Wasteland 14, right? 14?
Nailed it.
For Wasteland 14, and I'm going to turn it over to you so you can go ahead and tell them about it.
Come join us for the state's best airsoft LARP, period. Done. It's a full immersion of Fallout LARP in the Fallout universe, complete with perks, people role-playing as merchants, colorful characters, Greg, factions, wars, power armor, crazy weaponry, people dressed as the NCR, the Enclave. I have a faction. I mean, it's just such a good old time. It's switching back triumphantly to a 2-day event with camping at Wayne's World. People are setting up towns and settlements. It's just
it's
wholesome.
I'm so appreciative of them setting up their new towns. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. It is going to be the reason I'm happy until the beginning of next year for Airsoft. I am so excited for this event. Hosted by Mind Game Productions, by the fabulous Mac himself and his crew, working really hard, a lot of R&D to get this game to work. There's a lot of moving parts mechanically, rules-wise, and then a lot of cooperation by the player community to keep the experience going. It's a player-driven experience. The story for every year is dictated by whatever the players' actions result in, which is very, very fun. There's literal player consequence and action in this event. Whatever you do with a group or by yourself can literally change the scripting of the game for other people for years to come. And that is worth experiencing once in your airsoft career.
So I got to tell you, we had some guys in the store today. They were picking up some stuff because they're going up there to play, and they've never played it before. They're going to be part of the New Florida Rangers. Is that right? Is that the right faction?
Shout out to Carson DeHart and the NFR New Florida Rangers. Travis Fichenko, I love you all. Shout out. Yes.
And Top, we're going to talk about that here in a second. So they're going to be playing, and they're like, we don't know exactly what to expect. I said, well, don't expect to shoot a lot of people. Let's start there. I said, there will be firefights. You will have some level of firefight. Depends on where you are as you move along the wastes. Some people will never squeeze a trigger the whole day. You just may not. It's not necessarily about that. And it took me, I've only played one time. And it took me playing it to actually fully grasp that. It is airsoft, but it's airsoft because it's got airsoft guns in it. It's really more an immersive role play, and it is a lot of fun. I mean, it's not necessarily fully my kind of game, but CRISPR shows up now. All things were mentioned, and now CRISPR shows up. Good job.
I could not be more disappointed.
Whatever.
I expected nothing, and I'm still disappointed.
I'm just gonna end the stream. I can't anymore.
I quit. Airsoft sucks. I just don't want to be here. Yeah. Actually, fun fact about those players that came in as the new Florida Rangers, saying they don't know what's going on. They live in my town, so
no, I know.
They'll get it figured out real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I just shared with them. This is kind of what to expect. But I mean, you'll never know until you actually get there and you start playing. You actually don't know what's going to happen.
The more you give yourself to the experience of what it means to be in the Fallout universe, and to accept that in order to have the most fun, you are not a main character, you are the fun side character. The ceiling for fun and enjoyability is never ending. It is never, ever ending. As long as you don't go in thinking you're the hero that's going to save the world by yourself. This is a group experiment. This is a social substrate for change. The more you give yourself to what the event is, the more enjoyment it will give back. Go in with no expectations and be given everything.
Or be like me and go in and take everything. So either way, however you want to play it.
And you're humble.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be a little more humble than Yordi because I am the most humble.
Yeah. Actually, as we've been talking, I've been working on stripping 96 bottles of soda for that event to convert them into different flavors of Nuka-Cola while we've been having the stream. Always working on it. So,
it's a fun time, guys. And I remember when I first started, when I went and I played the first time, my first interaction with someone, I had no clue. Like he was showing me something like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, and I had to call Toucan over to act as, I was like, let me confer. And I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what was happening. It takes a minute if you've never done that kind of role play or anything, to realize that it's irrelevant, but very relevant what you say, because just dive in, allow yourself to be completely immersed into it, and just have some fun with it, and the whole day will just fly on by.
It really is something special, and it's the longest running game of its kind in the country, and if I'm not mistaken, the world. I mean, this is the 14th iteration of the same game, same narrative. There's a group that's been going since the first or second one. I mean, there's some long-lived history, some real lore to this player experience, which is absolutely worth exploring.
So, I want to bring something up real quick. I know we only have about 6 minutes left. Top just touched on it. Said, we need a Battle Buddy Initiative event, and
you do.
I sit on the chair, vice chair for the Battle Buddy Initiative, which is a nonprofit, and we work with veterans and kids. I was talking with Freddie this weekend as well, and Freddie had a great idea, and I'm going to put it out there now. He and I spent some time talking about it. Really trying to see if we can't get as many producers, distributors, suppliers, whatever, as many businesses that work within Airsoft to contribute and have a game where we can have people, veterans, kids, whatever, maybe have, where they can all come together for this fantastic game sponsored by all of these contributors. where it's not necessarily a game where everybody has to pay $150, $200 to go to this event. It's provided by as a give back. And I
We're
think
doing a
that's
Make-A-Wish game, is what you're saying.
essentially, yeah. I
Mm.
think I think that's I've recognized that there's a lot of things that are missing in airsoft that can be there. Giving back certainly is one of them. I mean, we do that at every event with raffles, but I think there's more that can be done. Um, my feelings about trying to grow the ability to have greater challenge events, much like the original 6 millimeter shootout. For the one of the biggest differences, and in a conversation I had with Freddie this weekend, difference between airsoft and paintball. One of them obviously is the integrity factor, where paintball, there's a splat, there it goes, but paintballers consider themselves, hey,
Isaac?
not Isaac, consider themselves athletes, and if you watch them move, they since it is a higher paced, I mean, obviously it's similar to a speed soft, but they move and constant communication. They're screaming and yelling. We got to watch some of it this weekend. They were training at the field we were at, and they're screaming and yelling. They're calling out distances. They're calling out locations nonstop. All you hear them is yell, 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 and they're constantly moving. I think if we continue to push to instill some of that thought process, that hey, there can be more. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but there can be more. We can do more. If you get the right people that want to do that, who want to grow it that way, I mean, it becomes the ceiling gets lifted. I just think that we need to do more of that. And as we go along, I mean, that's what I'm working towards.
Mm.
Again, with your great color, thank you. Your comments are invaluable.
Hold on. Wow. No, I'm kidding. I mean, you're just going to hit me up to write the game anyways. I'm here for it. I mean, I'm absolutely down for an event for less fortunate players. The grass is green, the sky is blue. Let's help as many people as we can shoot each other. I'm in. I'm all in. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, everybody's joining in now, guys. Unfortunately, guys, we only do an hour.
We do.
Absolutely appreciate you coming. We try to stick to the hour too, just because it. I mean, I love hearing myself talk, but hearing him talk, I can't do it. So, sorry. I apologize.
It's so good to be here. No. No, an hour is enough. Time makes the heart grow fonder. If you really want to hear more, you'll tune in next time.
Oh, look at you! Look at you, cliffhanger.
And we'll have way more to talk about, such as solid dates for Clash of the Titans.
We have solid dates. We'll have more information, and hopefully soon we'll have tickets. We'll have tickets for it. Dates are solid. February 3rd to February 5th.
Write that down. Write that down.
2023. Absolutely. February 3rd to February 5th, 2023. Clash of the Titans. Freddie Lux versus Sal Zuniga.
Be there or else.
There, look, nobody got nothing else to say. I'm trying to time it just right. What are we? 7:59. Look at that. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us here. If you came in, thank you, Isaac. I appreciate it. Yeah. If you came after the fact, if you're watching after the fact, I really appreciate it. Christopher, go back and watch. I actually talked about you a little bit, bud, briefly. Thank you again, guys, for joining us. Appreciate it. I guess hit the bell, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff on YouTube. I don't know how that works.
This is 422 Toucan. Hit that like notification, retweet, resubscribe. I'm talking re-Disneyfy, get your Netflix subscription. Here we go.
Oh yeah. You can find it. We were live on YouTube this time for the first time, and we've got it now. So, thank you guys very much. absolutely love you all. Appreciate it. Thank you for the time, and we'll see you all soon. And look, I'm gonna end
Watch
it
us on Facebook.
with this.